Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Michael.
I'm Zoya.
And we're Life Builds. Today's video, I'm going to be teaching my girlfriend, Zoya, how to ride her first motorcycle. Now, a little backstory. About a year and a half ago, Zoya learned to ride just a hair, not very well, but she learned to ride on my old R3. My old R3 was not lowered. It was not set up for a beginner rider. It was, just a great idea. I was like, hey, let's teach you to ride. And it was very hard because she couldn't touch. She is, how tall are you, babe?
I am 5'3".
5'3". So the lady we bought this bike from, we bought it last night in Buell, Idaho. It's pretty cool. The lady was 5'1", so she put adjustable shorty levers on it so you can adjust it 6 ways. She put a lowering link on the bike. She put frame sliders and a bunch of other cool things, which makes this bike the perfect bike for learning to ride on. So this video is going to be a multiple part series. Today's video is just going to be teaching you the basics, or teaching her the basics of how to get comfortable, how to understand how to ride your motorcycle. After this, we're going to be doing, part 2, part 3, all of it. We're going to get her until she's swinging the bike around this parking lot and really feeling comfortable on the bike. Sound good? Mm-hmm. So let's get started. So I want to start this video by prefacing that this is not a how-to for everyone to learn how to ride a bicycle or a motorcycle. I joke around, I call it a bicycle. And this is not a how-to. This is my experience with Zoya. This is tailored for her. However, if you would like a how-to or just how to get comfortable on your bike that in this video isn't what you're looking for, I can do a little bit of research and I could probably create a video for you guys. I've owned 6-7 motorcycles. I've taught a couple of my friends to ride bikes, so I feel pretty comfortable. But I just wanted to come on and say this is not how to ride a bike. This is just how I'm going to teach her to ride a bike. So getting started, I want to make sure she knows all the controls of the bike. So babe, show me what the front brake is. Here we got the front brake. Show me what the rear brake is. Alrighty. And then pull in the clutch and gear selector. You don't have to, just gotta lean the bike a little bit. So there's your gear selector, okay? So because Zoya already knows a little bit about riding bikes, we're just gonna jump right in. So, turn on the ignition and fire up the bike. Alrighty, and then make sure the bike is in neutral. Alrighty, so the first thing I want you to do, you can see she's tiptoeing. This is already on a lowered bike. I want you to just kind of shift your weight from one side to the other, get comfortable with the feeling of the bike. Okay, there you go, good job. Alrighty, how are you feeling?
It's a little difficult though.
A little bit difficult, okay. So the next thing I want to do is we're gonna have her learn how to feather the clutch, basically where the engagement point is. So if you're ready, I'd like you to put the bike in, pull the clutch in and put the bike into first gear. Okay, so I want you to slowly let out the clutch. You can put both feet down so you can walk it, okay? And I want you to slowly let out the clutch. Don't give it throttle. And then pull the clutch back in, grab front brake. There you go, okay? And let's do that a couple times. So just slowly let out the clutch. And then as you get to walking it, pull the clutch back in, front brake, okay? That way, this is a good way so that she can learn, not to get out of control, not to walk the bike too fast. And she's not even giving it any throttle. Our Yamaha R3s are set up for learning to ride a bike. So she's able to just let out the clutch really slowly in a nice flat area and the bike will start to walk itself, okay? So let's keep doing that. Let's let out the clutch a little bit more. And I want you to just kind of keep letting it out, okay? If you feel comfortable. Okay? And now we're fully rolling, and then pull in the clutch. Alrighty, pull in the clutch and come to a stop. Okay. How's that feeling, sweetheart? Yeah? A little bit stressful? Okay. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to try to get her to let the clutch fully out, and we're gonna try to make a large circle. Now, mind you, this is a very accelerated step. You know, she already knows how to do the clutch a little bit, okay? So if you're actually learning to ride your bike for the very first time, you wanna spend 20, 30 minutes, an hour, as much time as it takes, just walking, letting the clutch out, letting it in, or pulling it in, letting it out, so that you can learn the feeling of walking your bike, because you don't want the bike to feel like it's getting away from you. You want to feel comfortable on the bike, okay? So, are you ready? Okay, so we're gonna have you put it back into gear and just slowly let out the clutch, and then we're gonna have you start walking it until it gets rolling, and then we're gonna have you keep going around the parking lot. Okay? And we're just making slow circles. See, she's still not even touching the gas. I'm gonna run over here and show you. We are doing 5 miles an hour. Okay, so this is not too fast, and she's just walking it. And I'll just stop right here, and she's just making a very, very slow circle. Okay? And this is a great way to kind of learn how the bike feels, and you're not going fast enough that you're gonna get hurt. So she just came to a stop, put it in neutral, turn off the bike. How you feeling? How's this feeling for you?
Good.
You a little stressed?
I'm just finally starting to learn how to properly kind of turn, because at first I thought that turning the bike is just kind of all about leaning, but apparently it has a lot to do with actually, you know, tilting your front wheel. So that's really good to know.
Yeah, so what she's explaining there is basically it is taught that you have to lean the bike just to go anywhere, but you can only lean, I mean, you can lean the bike at any speed, but you only start leaning the bike once you're doing 15, 20 miles an hour. Riding around parking lots can be very scary if you're just trying to lean the bike, because you're not prepared to have that feeling of instability. And the bikes actually get more stable as the faster you go, which is the way they're designed. So what she's explaining is, you know, you do have to have handlebar inputs when you're learning to ride around these parking lots. So let's continue on. Alrighty, so for this next part, I am going to have you practice the throttle and clutch. Okay, are you ready for this? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna have you roll on the throttle just a hair after putting it in gear, and then we're gonna just let out the clutch, and I'm gonna have you go down, turn around, feather the clutch as you go around the corner, and come back and give it a little bit of gas. And we stalled. And guys, that is a perfectly normal feeling. Babe, how did that feel?
That wasn't that bad.
Yeah, so a lot of beginners are very scared of stalling their bikes, and it's just hard to experience it until it happens. So now that you've stalled it, how does it feel?
Out of the way.
All right, it's out of the way. Alrighty, we're gonna try that one more time. So we're gonna give it a little bit more gas this time. A little bit more, babe. There you go, let out the clutch. There you go. How's it feeling?
It's sensitive.
Yeah,
Like the throttle.
it is a little sensitive. So guys, remember, if you're the boyfriend or you're the girlfriend teaching your significant other to ride a bike, be patient with them. Everybody stalls the bike. It doesn't matter how good you are. I stalled my bike last week, and I would consider myself a decent rider. It just happens to everybody, and letting that happen, letting it move on, don't make a big deal about it. It just happens. So how'd that feel?
It was good. It was just weird to learn to control the throttle.
Yeah, and it's very sensitive, very light inputs, and
It was just like,
yeah, it's jerking around a little bit. All right, babe. So the next thing we're gonna have you do is we're gonna do the same thing where you let out the clutch and you start to walk the bike. But then after that, we're gonna go into a corner right around here, and I want you to have rolled onto the throttle just a hair. So you're going maybe 10, 15 miles an hour, and I'm gonna have you pull in the clutch as you go around the corner and then let it out, like feather the clutch as you go around the corner. Does that make sense? Okay, I didn't really explain that too well, but let's do it. Alrighty, so roll on the throttle a little bit. Okay, now pull in the clutch and then let out the clutch, pull it in, and then just keep turning, okay? And then just keep doing that. Just keep going in a circle. Pull in the clutch and then let her out as you need to go. And then roll on the throttle if you need. Alrighty. How did that feel? So what I'm trying to get her to practice there is feathering the clutch, it's a beginning step, which will later, in part 2, part 3, will be feathering the clutch more as she goes around obstacles, as she does tighter turns. We're going to be doing figure eights in between these parking spots. So that's why we're learning clutch control. So while we were doing practice, the bike's battery died, and this is just a little 10-second tidbit for you guys. I'm going to show you how to pop start your bike, because as a beginner learning, you're going to leave your bike on a lot while you're talking and things like that, and that can cause your battery to die. Now this is a brand new battery, but we've been in and out here for a couple hours, not really letting it charge, so this happens. So here's what we're going to do. Come over here and I'm going to show you that the battery's dead. That's what the battery's doing, right? So what we want to do, depending on the bike, I've never pop started this one, so we're going to try it. I'm going to put it into second gear, okay? And I got the clutch in. You want to make sure everything's on, and then you're basically going to run, and then you're going to throw the clutch out. The speed of you moving the bike as you put it in will turn the engine over and get it fired up. I might have to do it a couple times because it might need to be in first gear, but we're going to try second gear. So here we go. All right, so we need to be in first gear. This is a small displacement engine. Let's try that again. So now you're going to want to ride the bike around a little bit, or have your partner ride it around, so that you can charge the battery up so it doesn't die again. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so for this final part of the video, we are going to be practicing a first to second shift, okay? And that's about where we're going to end today's video. We'll come back for part 2, and there'll be, much more advanced techniques. But for part 1, right now what I'm having her practice is she's clicking up through the gears to feel what first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth feels like, okay? I'm gonna have her start in first gear, and then I'm gonna have her go up around the parking lot, click into second, and then if she feels comfortable, she's gonna keep going. If not, she's gonna pull in the clutch, she's gonna come back, and we're gonna go again. So when you're ready, babe, let out the clutch and let's get going. Make sure you're in first. That's her first shift. Oh, I'm so proud. Look at that lean. Oh, that's so impressive. All right, she just clicked her back into first. Look at that. All right, babe, just keep going until you feel like you're ready to stop. That was so good. You went first to second and then you went back to first. How'd that feel?
Good.
Are you happy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I scared myself on the corner.
Yeah, you were going a little fast, so you pulled in the clutch though, and you were fine, right?
Yeah.
And guys, just remember, if you ever feel like you're out of control, what I keep telling her is just pull in the clutch and press a little bit of front brake. You're not going fast enough, it's not gonna hurt anything. And pulling in the clutch disengages the motor, so then nothing's happening, you're just rolling. So how was today's practice session?
10 out of 10.
Were you a little bit stressed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, I just scared myself in the corner, honestly.
but she's doing really good. I'm very proud of her. So anyways, we're gonna end today's video, and like I said, guys, at the beginning of this video, if you guys want me to create a practice video for you, I'm willing to do it. I don't know if there's any need or any want out there, but you know, this was just a video of me documenting how I'm teaching my girlfriend Zoya how to ride her first bike, and it's going pretty well. So make sure to come back for part 2, where we will be setting up a little bit of a course and doing a little bit more aggressive maneuvers.
Don't forget to follow and like this video.
Maybe subscribe too if you'd like to see more content like this. Thank you, guys.